Now that man had one job to do, and that was to make the rice. And y'all see how the rice came out. So I don't know if it's my fault or his fault, but we're going to talk about that later. Right now, let's talk about what we're having for dinner tonight. And that is going to be some Cajun fried red snapper, yellow rice, and a couple of vegetables. And when I tell you this was so good, it was absolutely delicious. And because I'm not a gatekeeper, I'm going to show y'all exactly how I made it. So this is how I like to prepare my red snapper. First thing I like to do is go ahead and get it in some water with some lemons. And then I like to go ahead and start cutting off the fins. I believe that's what it's called, on the side, underneath, the bottom, both sides, in the front and the back side of the bottom. And then I'm going to go ahead and flip it over. And I'm also going to go ahead and cut off, I believe they're called fins, on the top part of the fish. Y'all correct me in the comments if I am wrong. Now, this is absolutely not necessary. This is just my personal preference of what I like to do. After I get all of that removed off of the red snapper, I am going to go ahead and take my knife and I'm going to score both sides of the fish, which is just going to be putting 4 slices in there. So all of the seasoning and flavor that we do add to it can make sure it gets all the way in through the fish. Now, if anybody's been watching me, they know when I'm working with fish, I do not like the head on. But today I am trying to be a big girl, and I'm just going to go ahead and work with it. After I get my fish scored on both sides, I'm then going to go ahead and continue until I get all 4 pieces done. Once I got all 4 pieces done, it's time for me to go ahead and dump the water. We're going to add some more cool water, and we're going to add some more lemons, and then we're going to go on to actually cleaning our fish, because at this point we were just preparing it. So for cleaning the fish, what I like to do is take my lemons and rub it up and down the fish. That's going to help remove the fish smell. And also what that is going to do for me is let me know if any scales is left on the fish that needs to be removed. After I go ahead and do the outside, I'm going to do the inside the same exact way. And now it's time for us to go ahead and move on to making our fish fry. Now you can buy your fish fry or you can make it at home because it's quick and easy. I normally like to make mine at home because I can control how much salt and seasoning goes into my fish fry. A lot of them that I've bought from the fish market is just salty. That's just my personal opinion. Now for the fish fry, what you're going to do is you're going to go in with your cup of cornmeal, 2 cups, however much you're cooking, that's how much you're going to need. You're going to go in with your cup or your 2 cups of flour. Then go ahead and add in whatever seasonings you want. For me, I'm going to use some Tony seasoning. I'm also going to use some Old Bay seasoning because we cooking seafood, you got to have Old Bay. And not only am I going to use garlic powder, but I have to use onion powder. You can't use one, you got to use both. Now for the Cajun part of it, I'm going to go in with my Pretty Girls No Flavor seasoning. Hey guys, that's me on the cover. That's me. I'm going to go in with that Pretty Girls No Flavor Cajun seasoning, and I'm just going to add what I got left in there. Now after I get my fish fry seasoned to my liking, I am going to go ahead and mix everything up. Now if it's not changing colors, that means it's not seasoned. Go ahead and add you a little bit more seasoning. Adjust it to the way you like. If it's seasoned to your liking, then we're going to go on ahead to the next step. Now while we're making our fish fry batter, you're going to go ahead and get your frying pot, put your oil on, and start bringing that up to temperature, because once we get this fish breaded, it's time for us to go ahead and drop it in the oil. Now that I have my oil up to temperature, I'm going ahead and roll my fish into that fish fry. Now I did not add any additional seasoning to my fish because I feel like my fish fry is seasoned enough. But if you would like to add additional seasoning to your fish, that is completely up to you. It's optional. After I get my fish covered in that fish fry, I want to get the top, the bottom, inside, outside, because that's where all the flavor is. That's where the seasoning is. I'm going to continue until I get all 4 pieces breaded. Once it's breaded, it should look something just like this. And now it's time for us to go ahead and drop it in oil. Now, if you're dropping your fish in the oil, they don't sizzle like that. That means your oil is not hot enough. Take your fish out, let that oil heat up a little bit longer, and then drop your fish in there. You don't want your fish just sitting there floating in cold grease. After about 5 minutes, it was time to go ahead and flip it over. And this is how I like my fish: beautiful, golden brown, nice and crispy. And I like my snapper fried hard, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it in there for an extra few more minutes. Once all of my fish was done, it was time to go ahead and make those plates. Now we're going to get back into that rice. When I tell you I have a rule in my kitchen, if I'm in my kitchen and you come in there asking me questions about how long the food is, what's going on, what's happening, I'm going to give you something to do. So I gave that man something to do because he was in the kitchen asking me all these questions. Now he did just come off an 8-hour shift, so we're going to give him a little bit of grace. Maybe I just should have made the rice because I knew he was just coming off work. I don't know. Maybe he should have told me he just couldn't make the rice. He was tired. I don't know which way it should have went, but y'all, this is how the rice came out, and we just going to eat it because ain't nobody else making no new rice. After that, I went on ahead and put that snapper right on top of that rice, added those veggies that we steamed, and you know I had to go ahead and get me a little bit of them parsley flakes because it adds a little razzle dazzle to the plate. Once I put the parsley on there, I had to go to the refrigerator and go grab a lemon wedge, and once we put that lemon wedge on there, it was time for us to go ahead and eat because dinner was served. And when I tell you, this was absolutely delicious, quick, easy, and delicious. So if you are a red snapper lover like me, go ahead and make you some Cajun fried red snapper. And you know what? I'm gonna have to call y'all back because dinner is served. And it's time for me to go ahead and go eat.